Today, I invite you to join me as we go deeper into the link of craving and the 12 links of dependent origination, as taught in the scriptures of Mahayana Buddhism. Dear friends, in the flow of dependent origination, craving, or ta in Pali, is the 8th link. It arises right after feeling, and is the spark that lights the fire of grasping, clinging, becoming, and eventually suffering. If we understand craving, we will understand the engine of samsara, the very reason why we cycle through birth and death, happiness and sorrow, gain and loss, over and over again. Let's begin by asking, what is craving? Craving is not simply desire. It is a deep-seated pull, a hunger in the heart. It is the tendency to reach out and grab onto pleasant experiences, to push away painful ones, and to get lost in the neutral ones. It is that part of us that says, I want this. I need more of that. I wish this never ends. I can't stand this. I must escape. According to the Buddha, there are 3 types of craving. Craving for sense pleasures, wanting nice sights, sounds, tastes, touches, ideas. Craving for existence, wanting to be something, someone, to continue in a certain identity. Craving for non-existence, the wish to not be, to escape, to disappear from pain or unpleasantness. Let's explore each one of these slowly and see how they show up in our daily lives, especially as lay practitioners who live in the world, with jobs, families, responsibilities, and dreams. Let's start with the craving for sense pleasures. It's probably the most obvious one. This is the craving for food, for touch, for comfort, for entertainment, for companionship, for praise, for beauty. It's when we eat not because we're hungry, but because we're bored. It's when we scroll through social media for hours, chasing pleasant images and stories. It's when we want a new phone, a new outfit, a new vacation, not out of necessity, but from restlessness. This craving itself is not evil, but it becomes suffering when we become attached to it. For example, if I need a cup of coffee to feel happy, then my happiness is tied to whether I have coffee. If someone compliments me, and I feel joyful, then later criticizes me, and I feel destroyed. That is craving at work. As lay people, we are surrounded by sense objects. But the Buddha didn't tell us to avoid them completely. He asked us to see them clearly, to ask ourselves, what is this feeling I am chasing? Is it lasting? Is it real? Does it bring true peace? We can enjoy a beautiful sunset, but without grasping it. We can eat delicious food and not crave more than what the body needs. We can have relationships, but not turn others into objects of emotional dependence. That's the key. Awareness without attachment. Next is the craving for existence. This is more subtle. It's not about objects or pleasures, but about identity. It's the craving to be someone, to be a success, to be admired, to be remembered, to be a good person, a perfect Buddhist, a wise parent, a strong leader. Again, these desires are not bad in themselves, but when we cling to the image of I am this, we suffer when that image is threatened. Let's say I want to be seen as wise. If someone disagrees with me, I feel defensive. If someone praises someone else, I feel envious. Why? Because I'm craving an identity. Even in spiritual life, this can appear. I am a meditator. I am a generous person. I am a humble disciple. These are still labels, still forms of becoming. The Buddha taught, the goal is not to become more, but to become free, to rest in being nobody special, and in that, find peace. As a lay practitioner, you might think, but I have a family. I have goals. Isn't it normal to want to be someone? Yes, it is human. But even as we play our roles, we can remember, no identity is permanent. Roles are costumes. We wear them for a time, and then let them go. We can be a parent, a teacher, a student, a leader, without clinging to any of it, live with full presence and gentle detachment. Then comes the craving for non-existence. This one often hides behind despair or avoidance. It's when we say, I don't want to feel this pain. I don't want to be here. I wish I could disappear. It can show up as depression, numbing out with alcohol, sleeping excessively, running away from life. Sometimes we think giving up is peace, but peace is not in disappearance. It is in facing life as it is, with eyes open, with compassion. We don't need to run away from suffering. We need to turn toward it with the warmth of awareness and let it reveal its nature. Every time we say, I can't take this anymore, we can pause and breathe. Instead of suppressing or escaping, we can ask, what is this feeling? What is it trying to teach me? Sometimes the greatest peace comes not from changing our life, but from changing how we see it. So, dear friends, craving takes many forms. It is slippery. It wears different masks. It hides in pleasure, in pain, in goals, in despair. But here's the good news. Once we see it, truly see it, it begins to lose its power. The Buddha didn't ask us to destroy craving by force. He asked us to observe it with mindfulness, with gentleness, patience, clarity. When we see a craving arise, we can smile and say, "Oh, hello. You again. I see you, but I don't need to follow you anymore." This is the practice of liberation. As lay practitioners, how can we apply this daily? When we eat with awareness, asking, "Am I truly hungry?" or just seeking comfort. When we shop, we pause and ask, "Do I really need this? Or am I filling a hole?" When we're praised, we enjoy it, but don't depend on it. When we're criticized, we listen, but don't collapse into despair. Each moment becomes a chance to return to balance. Craving is the bridge between feeling and clinging in the chain of dependent origination. But if we cut the chain at craving, if we shine the light of awareness right there, then the whole chain begins to fall apart. There is no more grasping, no more becoming, no more suffering. The Buddha said, "From the cessation of craving comes the cessation of clinging, of becoming, of birth, and ultimately, the cessation of suffering." That's the power of this practice. We don't need to leave the world to practice it. We just need to live with more presence, more stillness, more awareness. Every craving is a teacher. Every desire is a doorway. Every ordinary moment is a chance to awaken. Thank you for joining me today for this Dharma talk with Thien Tai. Namo Amitabha Buddha. May all the merit from this talk flow out in every direction. May all disciples and sentient beings fully awaken to Buddhahood. Please like and subscribe to this channel to revisit the short teachings of the Buddha. Thank you so much for listening to the Dharma.